All right, y'all. Greetings, salutations. Another episode of Fangs up here. And I ain't gonna lie to y'all. It's a little slow right now, but I feel like SWAC got a little bit of validation. I could be wrong, but that's just my opinion. So we're gonna share some ideas. Hopefully we come up with some solutions and hopefully put a little bread in some pockets, uh, especially at SWAC. But they want to, let a brother, get a little something on the side. I ain't gonna complain. You already know what's up. It's Fangs up.
Yeah, baby, you know what time it is. Now let's get it started. Are you kidding me? Unreal!
While our HBCUs are mostly known for academic rigor, community, they also know how to turn up.
Does he have it? Yes, he does! And that might be the knockout punch.
All right, greetings, salutations. Another episode of Fangs up. Look, man. Yeah, no, I be keeping my eyes out, looking out for stuff. So, um, when things do happen, I kind of, two here, two to them. So I try to keep a lookout, see what's going on. And when I notice something and I see something, I definitely try to do something. So, um, and in this, I kind of noticed the new NCAA rule change and how it could potentially help out our favorite kind of schools, namely HBCUs. So let's see. Um, and y'all know I'm biased. And look, I already hear the microphone trying to act funny. So I catch y'all. For those of y'all that are like, man, the microphone acting up. I hear it, man. So I got the backup ready. Oh, ready. No games played. What's up, Terror T? What's up, Demetra? So with that being stated, though, y'all know we come with questions. We come with solutions over here too, though. And so, look, if you're a rattler, keep your eyes out. Might be some news at the end of the month. That's all I'm gonna tell you. Streets is talking. But got a little validation. And look, got my man. Got to have a red glove. Sorry, look, the white glove doesn't show up anyway, but it's got to be a red glove just because I'm petty. But I feel like when you look at the upcoming SWAC television schedule, seems like you kind of validated the work or worth of SWAC sports, and especially if you're a rattler, you already know. Look, we got a good product, and people want to see our products, whether it's the 100 now consistently. It's the football team. I can't say nothing about the basketball team. Excuse me. Baseball. I ain't gonna lie to you. I could put swag baseball up there as far as like FAMU. It's a watchable product, but I think considering the deal you kind of got with HBCU Go and whatnot, you got your hands tied for a while, but kind of hinted at this before. But the swag network. But I think we're missing some money, and some of these opportunities are unique to HBCUs. So, but before that, look, did y'all catch your basketball coach? And I said it like that for a reason. Because we got the volleyball camp coming up. But you caught? Did you catch? Sorry, they might call her coach. Big pressure. Look, she out there recruiting, and she was out there at the basketball camp, and her and the assistants were out there looking at talent. And it wasn't just like she the only one out there. A lot of times I do fight for y'all for to be like, oh man, it just be the HBCUs doing that kind of stuff. No, 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 no. That's US basketball coach out there too. I see you, coach. Big pressure with the hat. Letting y'all know, look, that too much nail you? I'm just asking for a friend. She got the FAMU. I guess that's a shirt. Got the FAMU G jacket, FAMU bucket hat. Look, I just want to know, Coach Pressure, you had the FAMU shoes on too? I'm just saying, asking for a friend. If so, if one of the pairs fall off the truck, when I'm up there, I'm just saying, just asking for a friend. And you saw A&T's coaches were there too, so it wasn't something where it's just like, oh yeah, y'all basketball coach, she thinks she's Sadiddy, she's trying to show off. No, this is what you do. Like, you are winning, ma'am. That's what you do. I wish I had the song queued up. Again, if y'all don't know, I used to love the Jeff Cameron show. And he used to have this little thing where he play a little button and they sing, "That's what you do." So, little baby, this is what you do. This is how you win fans. Like right now, there's not a lot to talk about. But you know what it does look like? It looks like you're out there doing something. That's all I need to see. Like, sometimes it's not so much that you is or you ain't doing, it's the fact you look like you doing. When the boss walk around, y'all know the move. Come on now. Look, I was born. I wasn't just born. And I've been the manager before. When you come to work, you walk past the glass, everybody like this on their cell phones, playing whatever game they got going on. But then, as soon as you hit the door, all of a sudden, tails get to moving. Oh, hey, what's up, Keith? Good to see you, man. Hey, y'all narcissists wasn't doing that 2 minutes ago. I saw you through the glass. I ain't slow. I know what to look. Like, this is what you do, though. Like, and you're seeing these are the smart plays good PR people make. Like, because honestly, this isn't even from Josh and the athletic staff. This is from another company that does basketball and made sure, because they validated themselves. Like, they ain't stupid either. They all of a sudden they made themselves look like somebody. Like, yo, did y'all see the coaches out of here? Like, I'll push it back for you, for the folks who came in kind of late. Again, because next year, when you're trying to sell this to coaches, the sleeper athletes ladies basketball camp had Coach Pressure from Florida A&M University. We had the coaches from Florida A&M. We had the coaches from the University of Florida and North Carolina A&T State University. All of these are top universities in the United States of America. The number one public HBCU, Florida A&M University, University of Florida, a highly touted, almost considered an Ivy League of the South, and North Carolina A&T State, a previous HBCU of the year, very progressive universities. I'm just saying, that's how you sell it. Hey, we can use each other on this, because all of a sudden, what coach did, she just sat up there and was like, oh yeah, hey, Rattler Nation, I'm in these streets. I'm looking for talent. Y'all saw what I did last year with somebody else's talent. Y'all saw what she did with that talent. Okay, let me get some more talent. Hey, while we at it though, y'all want to cut some checks? Y'all want to donate to the Right Athletic Fund? I'm just saying, like, that's what you do. You show me that you're out there working. Oh, okay. If you're working, I don't mind paying. But then you over around here, feet kicked up on the desk, whistling Dixie, paying for Jack. All of a sudden, that's what you do. Like, she got a signing last week. Okay, cool. Gotta, get a couple commitments trickling in. I'm just saying, like, that's what you do. We also saw, I missed adding it. FAMU did have a transfer. One of our former center, power forward, transferred to Jackson State. So I'm asking the question again, FAMU men's basketball coach, where's the size? I don't see anybody that's been brought in over like 6'6". Like, I'm sorry. I got a problem when we ain't got no size, because it just, who's gonna rebound? Like, I'm sorry. I'm not in that Steph Curry ball. I got faith in the dude, but at the same point, and I understand he ain't got a check yet. So he kind of working pro bono. But at the same point, we need some size. We need some size quick. And we can't be losing size that was on the roster already. That's what you can't do. Not saying dude was the best, but if he could leave us to Jackson State, they were better than us. Like shoot, we could have kept that. So, but again, I still got faith in the brother. Y'all see, he's earning that extra 30K um, with them games right there. I don't know how much that was him and how much the previous administration, but it's what it is, man. Now football, we had a couple guys get offered, man. So if you didn't see, look, Xavier Griffin Hayes, 6'6", 220-pound defensive end, 2026 Roseville High School, Roseville, North Carolina. I like it. I like it. I definitely like it. And what I like about it is the fact that we're continuing to work on defensive line, making sure that that's as secure as possible, which is a need spot. Oh, look, can they hoop? That's the real question. At this point, that's the question that I think all of us are asking. Like, hey, bro, can you like do multiple sports? Because right now, man, this ain't it. And I don't like losing. I don't know about y'all. I ain't petty like I used to be, but yeah. And look, one of the offensive linemen we recruited, he wasn't 6'8", but he was showed 300 pounds and dunking. I was like, dang, I think he committed too. I look, I don't have that video, but it's a nice pickup if as an offer. He already got some offers out there though. So is FAMU his first choice? Doubtful. Is FAMU one of those schools where, hey, you keep this dude in contact? Maybe. We'll see about that one. And sorry, look, he had another picture. I was fired, but it already had the edits on it, so I was trying not to steal nobody other stuff that they had like actually made. This one right here, Brock Smith, 5'11", like an undersized linebacker, at least from his measurements that he posted. 5'11", 180, 2025 Calvary Christian from Clearwater. I mean, looks like he's an energy guy, but he's also listed as an athlete. So you can see him playing like linebacker, running back, quarterback. Like he kind of plays at every man position, kind of a hustle man. Hey, if you know me, you know. If you don't, you don't. But he's kind of a hustle guy, and I like him. I mean, I want to see what the GPA look like though. Like I'm one of them. I'm definitely look if he's a baller, keep him. If he's just there for grades, keep him. Like I'm just saying, when the AD is saying the APR is so trash that you may have to miss money, hey, keep them grades up, man. And look, if he on the 3 deep, I'm good. Like he can get into safety, running back, something. But look, get him some burn so we can get this APR up. Like I'm just saying, and that could be the same thing for Xavier. Xavier, look, I want us athletically to take student athletes because I need students that understand you're a student. Like you're here at FAMU, but at the same point, you're a student. Like you're not just athlete. Look, for those kids, didn't forget, look, they got the Cozy Camp coming up 28th. Ooh, sorry. 18th through the 20th. I'm excited. Sorry, y'all. So hadn't already registered. See if you can get that in there. What's up, Ashton? Also, big happy Father's Day, man. Big happy Father's Day. My wife already took me out for dinner. Look, I ain't gonna lie. Brother almost ain't make it to the show today, boy. She took me. We went to the modern day Sizzler, Texas Roadhouse. And yeah, we both was stretched out, sleep. Like, yeah, that nap was it. Like, ain't nothing like when you have like a solid meal and you just like, yeah, that post meal nap, it was over, bro. I was like, we both said the same thing. It's like, so after we eat, she's like, yep, we're going to sleep. So just say it. And look, I have to put that out there. Look, let them know. Happy Father's Day to my pops. I texted him earlier. Call after the show, man. I got a couple things jumping off today. Like he said, look, brother, still wiping a little bit of a little itchy right there. I told you I was good now, boy. But what we here for? Look, I think the SWAC is missing on some money, y'all. Like I ain't gonna lie, man. If you didn't see this, it is posted. I actually got this from the NCAA, y'all. So commercial sponsor advertising approved for regular season football games. And y'all know I stand on data, so I don't mind sharing my sources because honestly, I just don't care that much to act like I'm the person with all the tea. So this is about 10 days ago now, 9, 10 days. So you can go look. It's on the NCAA's website. So it ain't even like, oh snap, you can't find this source. No. Just Google the article by Greg Johnson. And if you didn't see, man, this is a new way to make some money. And I especially feel like HBCUs might have been missing out on this. And some of this, I wonder, have we already been doing? Like, so some of that, I don't know. But the other part is we definitely missing some money. So what you're going to see after you read through it, and it's a very short read. One of those reads you could probably assign to a fifth grader. Verbiage isn't challenging. But the corporate advertisements can be placed in 3 spots on the field. So you got the 50-yard line and 2 other places. I'm probably considering like those kind of 25-yard lines if you want to make it look decent. But is this an opportunity where you can make some funds? Like, and y'all can kind of miss me with these schools don't do this, and some schools do that. Like, look, these schools advertise with just about everybody. Like, I'm just saying, and I'm purposely picking on one conference in particular because they definitely have a good partnership with a certain chicken restaurant. So before y'all start talking about, oh yeah, the white man wouldn't do this. The white man been doing it. It's bow time. If you're an FSU fan or an ACC fan, look, they've been pimping Bojangles for years. So miss me with the nope, no. ACC been pimping Bojangles for at least 5 years. You only got one Bojangles in Tallahassee. Look, I bet when FSU has a choice of what chicken places they go to, they probably get a nice little discount from Bojangles because that's the official chicken shack of the ACC. So before we get to that, oh man, they don't do this, they don't do that. No. ACC been pimping chicken. So like, don't start acting like you're too good now. Oh, the white man would do that. Been doing that. he been pimping chicken. Like, so before you get out there and say it don't happen here, watch. I ain't gonna say when, just watch. They pimping mayonnaise for the ACC preseason game, and they about to pimp some chicken pretty soon. I'm waiting. Look, we're gonna see. Yeah, y'all ain't gotta say Keith said it first, but one of them schools gonna have a big old Bojangles thing on their school logo. So hello, no excuses. We can't get churches. I'm just saying, like UNC non-blacks love Bojangles. I ain't gonna lie, that Bojangles biscuit hit different though. The spicy chicken biscuit from Bojangles. Oh, my man, bruh. If you ain't had that yet, get you a little bit of the right kind of jelly or syrup on it. Look, I don't eat it in front of non-melanated people, but my goodness, my Lord, sheesh. Like, but I'm just saying, like, so in this article, again, what you see is these schools have a new revenue source that's now open to them. And somebody asked a question last week about the FSHAA sign still being on that football field at Bragg Stadium. Got a money-making opportunity? Just saying, AD Sykes. I mean, look, you did have some good ideas the past couple weeks. I can't take nothing from you. Just saying, you had a good idea. You were like, hey, if you're an NAA person, I can't tell y'all what to do. But if you're a chapter and you want to sponsor one of our athletes, hey, you can set that up. Same thing to boosters. Hey, boosters, you want to sponsor one of our athletes? I can't tell you what to do, but hey, go reach out to one of our athletes. Maybe they can sponsor you for a nominal fee. That's where you can get in the NIL game. Like she said, now I can't broker this for you. I can't tell you what to do. But I'm just suggesting if that's something you want to do, that's something you want to do. Good job, AD Sykes. That's what I'm talking about. That's vision. You gave them people what they need to know. You told them how to get around it. And you told them, hey, now I can't broker this deal for you. I'm just saying, if you want to do it, that's what you can do. But I ain't telling you to do nothing. AD Sykes, Tiffany Dawn Sykes is not responsible for whatever you do with your money. Good move, AD Sykes. Good move. Good move. Look, just saying. I'm with you when you're right. When you're wrong, I'm on you. But when you're right, I got your back. I'm down 10 toes down for you, AD. In this case, I think it's time. Now, do I want somebody logo next to the FAMU logo on the field? Not necessarily. But what I do think, since you already, kind of got to deal with, a certain person, you know. Matter of fact, I saw Scotty do this, so I'm gonna do it myself. So y'all be giving Scotty grace. Y'all be giving some grace today. Cook. Look, I'm just gonna say, since we already got a little deal, I'm just saying, you know, everybody ain't got these. Everybody ain't got them. If you ain't got these, some of y'all do, but you ain't got these. If you ain't fam, you sorry. One more time for the Willie Simmons fans in the back. You ain't got these. I'm just saying, we can't do a LeBron logo, like the King logo underneath the Rattler. That might look nice. I ain't even gonna hold you. Like, and put a little LeBron up there. You ain't got these. Like, come on, man. I'm just saying. Like, for the people in the front, I ain't even gonna talk for the people in the back. They talk bad about you anyway. So don't worry about them. We can't get a LeBron logo. I mean, we're a LeBron school, right? I'm just saying, you a LeBron school. We can't negotiate some type of deal with Nike where we get LeBron's logo near the under the Rattler. You know, just saying. Because how many LeBron schools are there? Like it's not even like a Nike thing. Like Nike's not nuanced. Everybody's Nike school. I believe Cookman's a Nike school. Like they ain't special. But a LeBron school, ain't but like 5, 10 of us. Like, and then all of a sudden, you try to keep the state playoffs at Bragg because the venue fits well. Like all of a sudden, that LeBron logo becomes something else. Like it's just that thinking. Like, and then at the hash marks, get you a Churches, get you Popeyes, charge a nominal fee, or get a nice little break, and all of a sudden, you operating in the blacks still. Everybody ain't operating the black. I ain't gonna say no names, but AD Sykes said we operate in the black. That's what the lady said. That's what the lady said. Don't cuss me out. Don't yell at me. Keith didn't say it. AD Sykes said. Her said we in the black. That's what her said. That ain't my fault. But jokes aside, that's something. Now your SWAC schools had the opportunity to make sure we monetize some of this stuff because it's not like the middle of the field ain't got people's logo on it. I'm just saying that's the Florida Classic. I don't know how much Florida Blue paying for that. If it's just not already included in the deal. But it's not like, oh, no one's ever done this before. It's unprecedented. Nah. It's called the Florida Blue Florida Classic. And it literally says at the 50-yard line, Florida Blue. I was just saying, like, you can't do Florida Blue there, then if I'm FAMU and Cookman, especially with the Classic, that's where I start. Florida Blue at the 50. I call Orlando Health quick. I'm just saying, it's either Orlando Health or Advent Health. Why? Because, well, I'm a local, but at the same part, look, hello, I'm coming to them next, little baby. I'm coming to them next. They're in direct competition, especially here in Orlando. Like Orlando Health and Advent Health competition. Like, and they spend money. You don't think that you couldn't get one of them to splash you some cash, and that's extra money to split between two schools? I'm just saying, like, one thing I love about FAMU and FSU's rivalry, FAMU and Cookman's rivalry, is different than UF and FSU's rivalry. They hate each other. We just get on each other's nerves. Like, they're my little sisters over there. Them little cousins. They are kin people, but you're not going. We can pick on them. You can't, and vice versa. They can crack jokes all they want. Ha ha ha. But the second you come over here, oh, whoa, 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 don't pick on my little brother. I'll fight you over there. Like, but we work together. And same thing. You can't get State Farm and All-State out there. I'm just saying, especially for the Celebration Bowl, who is practically headquartered in Atlanta? What's the name of the arena in Atlanta? State Farm. I'm just saying, we can't get that to 25-yard line. We split that money. Hey, it ain't gonna be but so much at that point. But at the same point, more money is more money. Like, I don't give a flying flip if it's an extra $5. You look, if it's a FAMU, give it to them. It's for give it to my school. Pay me what you owe me. Run me my coins. Like, we can't get that going because you see, we got some nice logos. Look, this Bayou Classic. This ain't got nothing to do with FAMU, but you can already see. Look, man, slap that little extra little bit of logo up there for whoever sponsoring the Bayou Classic, and get them extra dollars and split them between Southern and Grambling. I'm just saying, like, crown logo above the Rattler head. Looks like the Rattlers wearing the crown. I kind of like that. I ain't even gonna lie to you. I was gonna put it below, but shoot. Well, you got a point, bro. I'm with you when you're right. I like that. That's kind of sharp. I ain't even gonna hold you. And I think what this does, especially for some of your local businesses, your smaller businesses, it really gives them a way in. Like, can you charge what Florida State and UF are going to charge for on-field logos? No, it's not the same product. But if you're FAMU, what you can do is, hey, especially this year, we're on TV 11 times. ESPN. You don't say what it is. ESPN Plus, ESPN Negative. It's ESPN 11 times. I'm on the ESPN family of networks, ABC family of networks 11 times. I'm selling that. Because I wouldn't even say ESPN. I would say the ABC family of networks, because who's the parent company for ESPN? ABC. Sorry, y'all. Look, it's semantics, but look, if we're going to play cards, we're going to play smart. I count cards. I ain't going to tell you no lies. I'm a card counter. I ain't no trash talker. You get on Space Table, I might not say 2 words to you. I might not say nothing. So if you're a trash talker, I purposely pick trash talkers. My partner's going to talk trash. Me, I'll be quiet. Until unless I get that hand. If I get that hand and I'm just whooping that thing, yeah, look, oh yeah. You gonna get some trash talk then. But otherwise, I'm counting cards. And I feel like this is a point, you count cards. And you start saying, all right, we got 11 games on network television. Bam. Or 11 games on the ABC family of networks. And you start selling that to your large companies. Publix is already a partner. Hey, you can't talk to Publix? See if Publix do something? All right, cool. Publix won't move. Hit up Southern Grocers. Aldi gonna do something. Y'all know Winn-Dixie is not Winn-Dixie no more. Aldi owns Winn-Dixie. Like, we can't get some of them. Hey, can we make amends with Piggly Wiggly? I'm just saying, if that's a thing, if it's not a thing, I don't know. But I'm just saying, we can't give you a spot, on the 25-yard line for like a season or two. We call it square at the end. I'm just saying, like, You start off with your large companies, then you go down. Hey, McDonald's, Burger King, hit them up. But then you going on trickle down to your smaller spots until you find a sweet spot. And whatever it is, you find somebody to give you that bread. I don't care if it's 25,000 for the season or 100,000 for the season. You need that money to operate in the black, because that's when you come back with the other selling point. And this goes back to what I told y'all earlier. That field house, 80 Sykes, bring that back. Like, don't abandon that because the money went away. The vision doesn't go away because the money did. Just because your means that was in front of you to get what you want is gone doesn't mean that your aspirations to attain that goal have gone away. Now it behooves you to make it your own way now. So now, hey, yeah, support the athletic fund, all the stuff, but now you got new ways to get corporate dollars, and you now pair the corporate dollars with your alumni giving to try to reach that goal. To say we need this much to build a new field house, and then what you do in that field house that you are trying to build, you start saying, hey, let's get corporate sponsors to sponsor the rooms. Stop selling the names if you can avoid that. Like, if you can avoid selling the name to Hadley, the Hadley room, we gave 1.3 mil. Okay, that's cool. That's great. But you know what sounds even better? Yo, we have a corporate sponsor that pays us this amount of money. Corporate sponsorship costs this much for this long. Then all of a sudden, instead of getting 1.3 million for one time, you getting $100,000 in perpetuity. And so all of a sudden, at first, you're like, oh, that's stupid. But after 20 years, that money starts, oh, shoot, you're at 2 mil. And then all of a sudden, it starts rebuilding and building upon itself. Again, sometimes we take the quick cash instead of playing the long game and getting more money. Like Wells Fargo. We can't get Wells Fargo, Bank of America, Chase, one of them. I mean, Jack in the Box just came to town. I'm just saying, y'all the new jokers on the block. You know what they need? Advertising. I'm not saying nobody knows who they are, but regionally, Jack in the Box is not a place I'm going to if I'm in Tallahassee. I might go just for like, oh shoot, I've never been, like the first time. But at the same point, you can't tell me Jack in the Box is now in town. You can't go over to Checkers. You can't get some Checkers fries. I'm just saying, because it could go from something where it's simply, okay, we give y'all a spot in the field, to where now you put a Checkers in the stadium and you selling Checkers fries and Checkers burgers and other things at the concession stand. And so now you've not only built a on the field partnership, you've built a in stadium partnership that also, and all your companies that sell Pepsi products, because FAMU's a Pepsi school. Hey, you reach out to them. Taco Bell. I don't know if we want Taco Bell to brag. I'm just saying, you know, we got to get a new, you know, we got to get a new pipe system before we get Taco Bell. But you know, you could always hit Pizza Hut. You know, just saying. KFC. I mean, you used to have KFC on campus when I was a fam. I don't know if they're still there, but these are just some of the things that you can do and have that partnership that already exists, and say, hey, Pepsi, we're a Pepsi school. Can we work something out? Wawa. Can we get Wawa? Wawa just got to Tallahassee how long ago? I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I don't go to Wawa like I used to no more. It's not convenient for me. Like when it was convenient, yeah. But Wawa be packed, man, especially down here. But you can't tell me you can't get Wawa, one of these places on the sideline, like, because I foresee the long game, or at least the 10-year game, is you're going to be having advertisers put patches on your jerseys. And this is not unforeseen. Matter of fact, if you're a nerd like me, you know who this was. When I showed the picture, you're like, I know that dude. Now, some of y'all who don't know, this is your quarterback coach. Coach Burris, when he was with the Ottawa Red Blacks, they play in the CFL. Look, don't play with me, y'all. I'm one of them sports teams. I can probably name all CFL teams. You give me a city, I give you the team. And that would give you two coaches that they had probably played against each other. That's a good question. I wonder if Pat Watkins and Coach Burris played against each other because Pat was Edmonton, I think when they were the Eskimos before they were the Elks. I think he played in Winnipeg with the Blue Bombers too. But again, I think the long-term thing is going to be where you're going to have advertisers post things on some of these jerseys. And one of the ways I think the new wave is for you to kind of do like the NFL did, especially if you're the NCAA, practice jerseys. Hey, can we get corporate sponsors for these practice jerseys? And what you do is you start having the corporate sponsors on the practice jerseys. And what they're pretty much doing, they're paying for a spot on the practice jerseys, but they're also pretty much funding your new stuff. Like, again, it's not so much that it's next level thinking, but it's that, oh shoot, you open up this new door. This is what's coming next. Let me kind of start getting ahead of this, but let me use my relationships, my connections to already get on this. Like, yeah, you lean on LeBron for a lot. You lean on Nike for a lot. But at the same point, if you're gonna lean on them, they got to get something for it. Like you just can't offer me something and I get nothing for it. Like I'm not like that. Like I'm one of those people. I will support you if you don't support me. That's fine. But at the same point, it's easier for me to support you, and that's all of us, when I can see something or I benefited in the past. And it's like, oh, I'm paying it forward, or I'm showing respect or deferences sometimes, like, uh-oh, uh, fall throughout 2017 and 2020 to get FAMU to have Pepsi's supply muscle milk. It was totally embarrassing. Speaking of Pepsi, right? Hey, I don't know what to tell you on that one. Um, I've never had a problem with the Pepsi rep when I worked at FAMU. I'll say it like that. Whatever I asked for, Pepsi and Coke gave me. So I don't know if we just not selling the volume or how it is or is not being done. I don't think they're going to give you the product at a steep discount, partially because where on FAMU's campus do we really advertise muscle milk very well? I'm not saying we don't do it, but I'm just saying, and I pulled up the website right fast because um, I'm one of them. Even on the bottom row of advertisers, Muscle Milk's not one of the companies I see, and so I don't really see Pepsi up here either. And I just know we're a Pepsi school because, again, I used to work there, so they switched from Coke to Pepsi when I was there. I think that's another place where you're missing stuff. Like, so I think the Dodge dealers who we messing with, I think it just rolled across my screen. But look, and the question was, who's the biggest auto dealer in Tallahassee? Do we have an automotive partner? We used to. Again, if you come over here to the website, we got a few things, but it needs to be. I would like if we could scroll a little bit different. Oh, there we go. I got it. So a Ticket Smarter. Yeah, I don't see one. Great point. I don't know why I thought at one point I saw the Dodge dealer. I don't see an auto partner there. So again, that would be something that would be helpful because as you kind of pointed out there, we over here asking for a Sprinter van. If you had an auto partner, they would pretty much lease that to you, um, and let it slide. And look, we used to have a deal with Kraft. I ain't gonna say what happened to that. Yeah, not there. Uh, I'll say it like this: check before the SWAC championship and after the SWAC championship, and see how much Kraft stuff you see around campus. I'll leave it there. Um, so yeah, cause yeah, I ain't gonna say everything I was told, but yeah, Kraft ain't rocking with us like that no more, from what I was told. That's all. That's all I'll give you. But Again, because you're definitely going to miss some opportunities because again, this your TV schedule, and every one of those is in the ABC family. Like, just saying. First one's ABC. I already told y'all about ESPN. They are owned by ABC. The ACC network, owned by ESPN, and thus owned by ABC. Everything else, ESPN Plus or ESPN Family Networks. So every one of your games is on an ABC platform. So, yeah. Well, don't get look. I wish you had my phone number. We talk offline. um, yeah, I can't tell you what I know on this platform, but look, look, you say what you want to about Mickey, but look, ABC got 11 games. That rat said, "Yeah, if you, I'm gonna take this money. Y'all Rattlers gonna do something. Y'all gonna make something shake." Like he know where his bread is buttered. Like, yeah, y'all Rattlers, y'all show up. Cause look, Mickey, he used to rock with us real heavy for the classic. He don't do like he used to. But I'm just saying, like, those are missed opportunities because the SWAC's got a viable product. And for me, what I'm seeing from this, especially when you look at FAMU, you start looking at what Jackson State was, and you start looking at some of these other schools in the SWAC, about 3, 4 of them. You got a pretty decent product. Like, I think you keep your partnership with HBCU Go if you can. You definitely keep your partnership with ESPN because some of it is because of the whole exposure bit, but some of it also just ease of access. Like, they have a distribution network you haven't built yet. Like, I hate to say it like that because I'm definitely for the SWAC kind of doing its own thing, becoming independent. But at the same point, until you master how to do that or figure out how you're going to do it on your own, you should use them. I ain't gonna say you need them. You should use them, but you should also start cataloging your content. Work to create a network, and then within that network, you do is literally what HBCU Go is doing. Like every Saturday, you can watch some old SWAC basketball or something from earlier in the year if you want to. The problem is there's no context behind it. It's just random as hell. Whereas if you had a focused content, it would be better. Like I think the ACC does this really good with some of their ACC days. They don't do a lot right, but the ACC network does a few things right. And one of the things they do really well is they have, especially going to football season, wait for it, that week, probably about 2 weeks now. So they got about 2 weeks worth of football teams. They're going to show you recaps and the best of each one of those schools for like a good 14 to 12 days. The best of Florida State all day long. They're going to show you the football games. They're going to show you some content they created, probably about Bobby Bowden, Sod Cemetery, the Marching Chiefs, and the Renegade and Chief. Same stuff they show. They show the same 4 shows. Then they're going to do the tour of Tallahassee, and that's about it. And they're going to show you like 2-3 games that they won. I'm just saying. They re-showed them, was it Miami, Texas A&M game today? And I don't even like Miami. I didn't watch it. But that's something that I think a SWAC network could do. Give you the best of FAMU, do a couple shows on the 100, keep it pushing. Like, look, someone high should have going talking business, get these deals. I'm with you. Look, and look, baby, there's no reason why we can't watch FAMU versus Miami game on both ACC and SWAC networks. That's tough. I mean, if they're both owned by ABC, you could get away with it. But if they're not, I don't know. That's look. I feel like that's some contract questions right there. Like, what's up, Mike? How much does the SWAC generate annually from showing the Mickey Rat broadcast besides Celebration Bowl? Anyway, not enough. I don't have that number in front of me, but from what I've been what I've seen, it wasn't enough. That's just my perspective, but I don't have those numbers in front of me, so I don't have those numbers to be able to say like a definitive answer. Might have to put that down and look for it. Mike, you got my contact. Drop that to me. I'll do some research for it, man. But that's a great question because for the Celebration Bowl, I want to say each conference gets like a meal, something crazy like that, and then you end up splitting that between the conference. Which honestly, the MEAC's winning that. Like the MEAC's winning that because you have fewer schools. So all of a sudden, naturally, we both split the meal. A meal split 6 ways versus a meal split 12. It's a completely different battle. Like that's why I say you should start to really create your own network because then you have your own advertising packages. You're not kind of what you did with HBCU Go, where you like sold the content for a price and you have this set price you're getting, but that person is just reselling what you get. Like what you give them, they resell it, repackage it, and get the higher price. I think if you keep it in house, you use your marketing team, you start to generate the additional revenue, and you as a conference will probably reap more funds because you still continue to use those corporate relationships. And I just think right now, with what you're doing with ESPN and HBCU Go, it's what you do. Like you build a relationship, but then when the contracts are up, you start to realize the value of your products. And then you improve your facilities. So you improve your facilities so it's a more watchable product for those that are going. Not that you need to go crazy building facilities. Like as I stated before, very few teams are building bigger stadiums. They might build better facilities and improve what they have. But you don't got a lot of schools over here building 70,000 seat stadiums. If anything, they're reducing capacity. Like you see what FSU just doing at Bragg. I mean, Doak. Sorry, I'm so FAMU. I'm over Doak. I hadn't been there in years, but they reduced capacity by like 20,000. UF's same thing. Like there's only one school in the state that's really looking at increasing capacity, and that's the largest school in the nation. It's UCF. Otherwise, they're not even looking at doing it. They're just kind of like, all right, cool. We're gonna build these facilities around, but as far as the actual stadium, and you're gonna sit in that same toaster oven and burn. F that. I'm not doing it. He needs to get busy. Look, like it looks at Marvin. Like I believe this is sorry. I got liquor in this glass too. Yeah. Believe a lot of people were brought in to make some money. I ain't seen no trees shake. I'm just saying, look, Larry, I know you got like 14 days left. You ain't hear that from me. But come on, bro. Can you set somebody up? Like, passing the ball so they can just get a nice little layup? Because this ain't it. Like, I'm just saying, if you are here for the sole purpose of like finding marketing opportunities, yeah, bro, that ain't it. Demetri, please don't get me started because he needs to be arrested for stealing because he ain't did nothing. And as in the words of my favorite Jackson State alumni, he ain't did Nathaniel. Miss Wells Harris, one of my favorite Deltas. Look, and look, birthday. One of my birthday peoples. She's October baby. He ain't did Nathaniel, nothing. Like I ain't seen. What's the last like real marketing thing you saw hit FAMU? I'm just saying. Like, I'm just saying. Like, and so yeah, SWAC don't have the infrastructure to have their own network. Even the ACC, SEC, and Big Ten needed to partner with ESPN and Fox. Agreed. And that's why I was like, I feel like the best way to do that is to kind of partner with one of those groups, especially when you're seeing what kind of like what's happening with some of these conferences. Like you're seeing realignment happen. We can all tell when some of these conferences are realigning, all of a sudden that means there are fewer conferences. But if you have really two HBCU mainstays that you know are going to be there, probably four as a network, that to me is safety. Because honestly, most of y'all black schools don't want to play with these white people anyway. Like I hate to break the fourth wall like that. Like, but look, I ain't got the deck of cards. I left it in the car because you ain't got to get ready when you stay ready. But if we call it spades, HBCU fans are comfortable around other HBCU fans. Part of the Tennessee State issue is that they only play like one or two HBCUs, and the fans have spoken. They've spoken with their mouths, and they speak with their butts and their money. And you know what they don't do regularly? Go see non-HBCU games. Now, when you get a HBCU in there, bring FAMU to Nashville, you might get 20K. A lot of these games, they're playing an NFL stadium with 3,000 people, 4,000 people. That's ridiculous. You could have those games at Hale. But at the same point, we know, and y'all know Keith ain't gonna do nothing but tell you the truth. I ain't got no problem telling the truth. If I'm lying to you, I don't respect you enough to tell you the truth. Or I feel like you just can't handle it. In this case, y'all see what's up. Like, the marketing's there. Like, build it out. Work with one of these networks. Approach Fox. Approach ABC. I don't know where you can get with Fox because, but approach CBS, especially CBS has pretty much lost the SEC. You don't think that they wouldn't be hungry to get some kind of deal done? Like, hey, we know y'all just lost, the SEC. I'm just saying, y'all want to partner? We need something. We know y'all got a little something with the Mountain West, and nobody gives a damn about them. You want to see a viable products? Come check out and bring to your classics, bring them to your band showcases, and let them sit in the stands in Houston, in Atlanta, and see how many of us and other people show up to these kind of events, selling your major events. Then all of a sudden, because if y'all gonna buy the UFL, come on, ain't no way you can tell me HBCU football ain't better than the UFL and the XFL and whatever the hell it is called. I was up there trying to watch it, and the cable went out, and I was just like, all right, it's cool. Like, you can't tell me the Celebration Bowl did not look better than that championship they just played. And some of those guys went to HBCUs. Like, okay, you know what? I could argue, or I could be right. I'll be right. That's the Celebration Bowl. Y'all know it's Saturday, December 14th. Y'all see the picture there. Matter of fact, this is how petty I am. I know because I had the external hard drive connected. Let me pull a Fangs Up podcast, FAMU football pictures, Celebration Bowl. Okay. So this was pregame Celebration Bowl. So, you can't see it? Okay, that's all right. I'm gonna make it so you can see it. I like to be right that much. Like, and I promise you're gonna be able to see something. There we go. Look, that was my pictures. Celebration Bowl, Musa, post game stuff. Like, okay, looks nice. During the game, y'all ain't need to see all that. Rattlers are coming out. Like, you can't tell me that did look better than that UFL football game. You can't tell me that. That, like, literally, look at the stands. Like, I don't even know what the next picture is. Halftime. Come on, man. You can't tell me you couldn't sell this to a company like CBS and be like, yo, this was the Celebration Bowl. Like, our regular games, we have this attendance, this, that. You can't tell me that you couldn't partner with one of these companies. Like, let's see, Mark, it would be easier to get corporations to buy into things their names will remain on, conference rooms, suites, lounges, than to keep with the woes us begin to help lights on. Look, I agree. I already told y'all, for me, one of the things I think you should sell the names to the gates. Like, if you don't want to sell the naming rights to the stadium at large, that's fine. I'm cool. You keep it Bragg Stadium at Kim Riley Field. But I think, and even they gave on this idea, the Cleveland Browns gave you a great idea. For the longest time, that stadium was going to be what it was going to be until finally they were like, oh man, look, this makes too much money. But they sold the gates. So each entrance to the stadium, you can't tell me you can't get at least 5, 10 stacks. Like 10 stacks, $40,000. Look, you can have T-Mobile, AT&T, Cricket, and somebody else. 4 different cell phone companies on each one entering the stadium. Like, again, Mike's right. Put their names on stuff. I don't think you do it in perpetuity because I think it's a marketing deal where you get it for so many years, and in those years they get that going. But I'm just saying, like, and look, maybe the MEAC and SWAC could partner to build a network, an HBCU network, then shop it. I agree. Honestly, why don't all 4, 5? Like, I mean, I know was the HBCU conference, they got their thing. That was smart. You can't tell me the MEAC, SWAC, CIAA, and SIAC can't come together and just have football games running. Like, literally, think about before we had HBCU game day, and you had I forget the name of the show with my boy. Like, literally, they would go from place to place. He would show you all the HBCUs, and you would be like, cool. Back in the days, we used to watch Onedin or read Onedin, Oneiden, however you want to say it. You know, like, that's what they did. You literally got the MEAC, SWAC, SIAC, CIAA all in one place, and for 30 minutes, maybe an hour, you would watch them do recaps. You were good. You can't tell me a network couldn't give you like 4 or 5 HBCU games and just mm, mm. I'm just saying, like, if I were for something like this, and it works out well because of the makeup of each conference, you literally go from the far east to the southwest. Like, just saying, you literally go from Delaware to Texas. So you couldn't start games earlier in the day, especially in the wintertime, because they don't want to play at night anyway. At Delaware State and those places, and then hit up someplace in the Carolinas, hit up one of the schools in Florida, Georgia, move on to Mississippi, Alabama, and then finish in Texas. I'm just saying, like, I think that's what you do. That's the way you sell that product because it's there. Like, trying to see if I got another picture where we just, something else. But it's just that thinking. Like, pooling your resources together. You may not have a mega conference, but you can have a deal that allows you all to collaborate, work together. Everybody gets some money. You look at what you're making now and you say, we need double that. But if you double that, we get this much content. You get this. And you sell them as much as possible. Like, I'm just saying, like, and look, I haven't heard any athletic department get anything but shoes. Not really. Like, I mean, they got shoes, shirts. If you read my lips, you read my lips. If you didn't, I ain't gonna say it for you. But the stuff that gets us going, but not the stuff that matters. Like, I really feel like my favorite Coming to America reference comes here. We appreciate the kind that jingles, but we rather the kind that folds. I feel like a lot of times we get in the jingles. Like, just saying. Like, are we getting that next level stuff? But at the same point, it would be nice to have an HBCU network, but we don't own any of our own content between the old BET games and since being with Mickey the Rat. What content do we actually own? I think that's where you start to negotiate those deals. I think that's one of the strengths of the pre-existing relationship with the rat because honestly, a lot of that content's in their vault. It's in their coffers. So all of a sudden, you work a deal where it's almost like a music deal where you get your masters. Like, hey, this is what how much content we give you. We need us. I don't even know if you want to do like an HBCU network because that may be too, woke for this new people. And my governor. Oh, the woke agenda. You don't know what woke is. Uh, but I'll let that go. But I think that might be too woke. So Bounce Network or somebody sponsor HBCU sports and bands. I like that. I think that's a great idea. You need more people that bounce, but I think that's a good idea. The CW, like honestly, think about what the CW was before it became like the CW. Like when it was UPN, like that was a UPN special right there in the making. Like when they was doing underpaid Negroes, y'all know what UPN stood for. Like y'all can't tell me that's not marketable. But again, I think that's the power of coming together. And I think that's honestly what the larger schools have done. They've realized you look at the Big Ten, you look at the SEC, and even to a smaller degree, what the ACC is doing. You think what the ACC has done, the ACC now, granted, they're probably going to lose Florida State and Clemson. They've become a conference that can literally run football games, which is your money making product, from as well as the Big Ten. You can run football games from 11 o'clock in the morning to 11 at night, and every game is live. I mean, literally from 11 to like 2 in the morning, I got you watching football. And some of y'all are going to do it, especially because some of y'all are degenerate gamblers and you got skin in the game. So you got to see it because you're doing prize picks, you're doing, whatever underdog fantasy, you're doing whatever that is. So you're going to watch the game. You can't tell me that we ain't got the same thing that we could do. Like, granted, you ain't got no HBCUs in California. You go from the East Coast to Oklahoma. Like, I'm just saying, at this point, it is what it is. The market is a market, but as a collective, you have more power than you do as six schools who go from Delaware to South Carolina. That's really only one TV space. It really is. Like all y'all gonna bunch games in the same couple of hours. Where if I can say, hey, MEAC football, ho, SWAC football, CIAA football, SIAC football in one place under one umbrella, the whatever network, and you have all of those in one area. Then you flip it and do the same thing with basketball. Then you flip it and do the same thing with baseball and softball. You have those four sports. Those are your linchpins, and then you get the other ones in there. Especially when it's something in Florida, come down here to Florida, come to the tennis complexes. Like, again, it's not rocket science, but what it is you're paying attention to what they're doing because how many conferences still have divisions? Not a lot, mainly the SWAC. I'm just saying. And at this point, does it do you that much good to keep a division thing? Or should you just say, hey, top two in the season, y'all fight it out? I think that's better. I think it's a better, I think it's a better product because let's keep it real. If you would have had the last 3 years, the best two teams fight it out, granted, the other 2 years, they FAMU might have, Jackson State was Jackson State. But you would have got FAMU Jackson State rematches, which I'm just saying that money prints itself. Like at that rate, you could almost put that at a neutral site if you want to and just say, hey, how much you want to pay us for this? Like, I mean, I'm being facetious, but I'm also being a little serious. Like, I think the SWAC is starting to realize one, it undersold itself with that HBCU Go deal. And I think going forward, what you do is you either continue to partner with them or you figure out a way and you can meet with them first. Like I would do right of refusal with them where, hey, you already got a lot of our content. You already got a lot of our content for this many years. Let's work to create something. You know what? You have the content for the MEAC, the CIAA, and the SWAC. The four commissioners should come together and say, hey, you know what? You kind of shut down one of your networks because it wasn't really doing much. Why don't we just kind of take this over and work together and start marketing our products on a HBCU Go network? Less of just like, oh, HBCU Go, and this is the what we're showing it through, but it becomes an actual realized television network that you're actually like clicking on, going to HBCU Go, and it's the place where you go for HBCU sports. Sorry for bumping the camera on the screen. Like that's to me, that's the goal because it goes from being like a niche or niche sports thing where you only show really HBCU basketball and HBCU football to becoming a place for HBCU sports where it's almost like ESPN. It's just blacker. Like you have your target audience, you target HBCUs, you don't exclude the other schools because if you play those other schools, you show the content, you still do what you do with them, but you build your audience and you sell that product, but you also build those schools up. And in the long run, it goes away from just being this marketing thing where it's like, oh, I'm selling you black college football and black college basketball, to I'm selling you the black college experience. I show you the football, I show you the basketball, baseball, softball, all that. But then I have the band competitions on there. I start getting some of your people like Curtis Akeem on there. If you can get Scotty on there, you get him. If you can't, you don't. But you start using those things to do similar to like HBCU Plus is doing. Just you do it on network TV because you got that relationship with Byron Allen, right? He parlays that to flex the muscle so that now what y'all have is something on cable and on Roku and on these other platforms that's not where, oh, I kind of got to look for it on my computer, but it's on these different things. So I'm just saying, man. And look, FAMU versus Jackson State Chicago Classic or FAMU Southern Circle City Classic, which generate more money than we both make playing each other at home. If those cities contribute, I'll tell you now, I ain't going. I've been to Chicago. I would do Circle City. I've heard that used to be lit. But yeah, if they want to cut the check, I'm here for it. Put it on TV, make it a thing, pay for the bands. I'm good. But I don't know. That one was Jackson State. That's a question, Mike. I don't know. Part of it, my only question is with Jackson State, they operate at a different economy of scale because that game is probably going to sell out. I don't know their average ticket price. Their ticket price not that bad, but if you can get it, they're going to get about 50 because they normally block off some of those seats. But if they sell that mug out, shoot, that's 60,000 people at Jackson. Like Jackson operates at economy of scale that no other HBCU can. I think that's the second largest stadium in the FCS. I think Yale Bowl is larger. I could be wrong, but I know Jackson State's like top three size wise for stadiums. So that's why when they're like, our attendance is super high, well, your stadium seats 60,000 and the state of Mississippi gave it to you. So hell yeah, it should be high as hell. Ain't jack else to do in Mississippi. What am I gonna watch? The Mississippi Braves? They're not in season. Yeah, you're supposed to be that. Like, no disrespect. Like, I respect people from Jackson State. I'm just saying, you should have the largest attendance. You're the biggest stadium, and nothing to do there. Like, ain't no pro sports. Well, Major League Pro Sports. You don't have MLS. You don't have NFL competition. You don't have NBA competition. It's not a pro sport team within what, 2 hours? Closest teams are in Memphis, hour and a half, 2 hours. Just saying, like, you got no competition. Like FAMU, granted, within the circle of Tallahassee, there's no major sports teams for 2 hours. But at the same point, you trying to get me to drive 3 hours. I gotta pass by. I gotta leave UCF, pass UF just to get the fam. That's tough. That's tough sell for some people. Ain't for me. That's easy for me. I don't like UF. I mean, it's a fun. It's the best. I'm not gonna lie. And I'm a hater. I'm gonna say it just like that. I'm a hater. If you want the best football, pure football experience in the state of Florida, go to a football game at the University of Florida. Best pure football experience, bar none. I don't care. And I'm telling you, as a person who's not a UF fan, best pure football experience ever. Um, UCS, okay, it's just hot as hell. FSU solid, but Miami, you might well go to brag. Unless they're playing Florida State, don't go. USF was straight too, but in the state of Florida, if you want the best football experience, go to Gainesville on a Saturday. I'm telling you right now, that is different. It hit different. Like, and I'm telling you again, I don't like UF. I only go when they're playing Kentucky at this point because that's a team I like, and I wear my UK gear, and you can't say nothing to me because last time my boys beat UF, so it's a fun environment. I'm telling y'all, best bar none sports football atmosphere right there. Now, best football game atmosphere in the state, the classic when it's packed, ain't nothing better. I'm sorry. In the state of Florida, if you are wanting the full experience, like tailgate, hanging out, football game, halftime show, post game, Florida Classic is the best in the state. Look, Florida State, Florida, been there, done that. Can't compare. Like rivalry wise, they hate each other. But as far as like best experience, with like all encompassing, classic. Like, and Mike says the connections both of us had Chicago, especially JSU with the Southern migration, Walter Payton will work wonders to sell it. Plus, next year is our year to host Jackson State. It should be. I mean, I like I said, that's not a game I'm going to. It's just Chicago. It just wasn't for me. It was a good trip, but it wasn't something that I ever have to do again. No disrespect to those from Chicago, but I mean, if I go again, great. If I don't, been there, done that. Got the T-shirt. I've never done Indianapolis, so I would go there, but that would definitely be like a weekend trip. Like I would definitely do that, then go to Bloomington for some obvious reasons. I want to see some. I'll be a tourist up there, but that'd be interesting. And like I said, they're gonna cut the check. I'm with it, Mike. But I think when we're looking at this and just to wrap it up and give a solution, the SWAC's missing money, and then on the other side, our HBCUs, our individual institutions, not just HBCUs, have been given an opportunity to recoup funds. So now with the NCAA's new rule, and if you missed it, I'll put it back up there. Look, I stand on data. I don't argue for my opinion very often. Well, I mix it, but commercial sponsor advertisements are approved for all regular season football games. So that means you can make money off a likeness that's on the field. I'm just saying that could be a thing. That's a thing. Like, and it's like, nah, not giving up JSU and Bragg for Chicago. That game should stay on campus. Yeah, I don't want it away from FAMU because the Boom hadn't been up there in a minute, and we owe them. Like last time they was in Bragg, they beat us, man. I want that. I want my lick back. Like I'm petty. Like I'm sorry. I feel you though, Mike. Because it all comes to dollars and cents at the end. But I want my lick back. Like we got them last year. But man, I want to get them at home. I'm sorry. Like I want us to have a nice little 5-year run of just beating them. Like, it's just I'm just saying. But we are missing opportunity there. And one of the things I feel like whoever our business person is, his responsibility now, find some money. And with that finding of money, as the AD, work on that field house. Like you put it out there. When this dude said I had $230 million to give you, oh, you had already roped off your part and said this much is going to a field house. Don't get rid of the idea because the dude's proposition was fugazi. Like, okay, his idea left, but the need didn't. Still work on what you need. Tell us what you need. You already told us how much it's gonna cost. Like, so get one of them little things, them old flyers with a little arrow and show how much money you put in there. And then make it a something that you run during the football games and have it during one of your little raffles. Sorry, one of your raffles. Make one of your raffles a raffle that goes to the Rattler Athletic Fund for that purpose. Just saying. All of a sudden, hey, this is to the building fund. This is where we're at. This is where we're at. This is where we're at. Make it a 4 to 5 year goal. Set the minimum for 20 to 25 mil. All of a sudden, because if it comes in early, it might come in under that cost. If it comes in late or around that time, it might be at that cost. But either way, you have the funds to get the job done so that you have the venue you need, you have the facilities you need, but also you've galvanized your base and you've maximized your income resources because eventually I foresee them doing the CFL thing where the jerseys have these advertisers on their name. So look, oh Mike, another good question. Look, how much do you all think we would make from JSU and Bragg and without their band coming? Ooh, that's the killer. That would make going to Chi-Town and opening it up to Chicago. I don't know. Again, I don't know the numbers, man. I do think you would probably make more money just because Bragg only seats 19,000. It doesn't seat 25,000 anymore. So it's not like back in the day when I was a kid, when you was slamming 40,000 people in the Bragg. You can't do that. Like you might be able to get 25,000 people in there with some illegal practices and people looking the other way. So it's not the Bragg from our youth. It's the new Bragg that has about 20,000 seats, and about 1,000 of those seats are useless because you can't see from them. So you're really getting 19,000 people in there. Plus you add the boom. You're talking 18,000 something. Like it ain't that. Like Mike's not wrong. It's just for me, I would need to see the numbers. That's just me. Because I feel like he's probably right, but I don't have the data in front of me to say they are right. And I don't know if they've offered FAMU since. And the last time we went to Chicago, granted, this is part of why you definitely need a network. Nobody showed up. We went to Cincinnati. Nobody showed up. Like the Circle City Classic people showed up. But at this point, we also understand a lot of this, as far as you making money, is based less on attendance and more on what they can put on TV. So if they can fit the bill to have the 100 come up there, because again, they got to pay for 100 for me. If you're taking a game for Bragg, I don't give a flying flip who you are. If we're giving away a home game, one, you're paying us double what we make at Bragg, or at least 100K more, and you're paying for the 100. Like that's full stop. Because I know, and the people outside know we come to see the band. Like Tampa was a good turnout. It would have been a much better game if 100 showed up. Because USF band, to their credit, they tried to do a little something. But I'm just saying, like, is Chicago gonna give us that money? Cool. But I'm just saying, for them, that's a risk. Because if you look at the history, that attendance last time we played in Chicago was butt cheeks. And it didn't look good on TV. Like, respectfully. Not trying to be like a jerk, but it didn't look good. Like, even watching on TV, empty stadium looks bad. And so that's my only question. If they're gonna cut the check, hey, I'll steal your money. and keep it running. But it's something where we have some type of required ticket allotment that we have to sell. I don't think I'm the only person that's going to say, like, I'm not dropping up there and I'm not flying. Like, I watch on TV because in today's modern day football, the problem you got to get me out of my house. And like I said, FAMU Jackson State, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not going. I'm not going to that game. We have an event for the fraternity. They're trying to go to Albany State for homecoming. I'm not going. I'm going to Gainesville. I'm going to watch the University of Florida and Kentucky if I leave my house. Otherwise, I'm going to sit in my house and watch everything. That's the problem. Because I'm doing the UF thing because a buddy and I go. That's our tradition. But for me to go to Chicago, I got to spend a lot more than I got to spend on the cable bill I already paid for. Cable bill, $200. Look, cable bill, a couple beers or a bottle of Wooford and some sweet tea. Hey, for the good Wooford and some tea, I spent $100 and some wings, and I'm at the house. Go to Gainesville. I mean, my homeboy driving. I ain't gonna lie, but I'm gonna have a good seat. I'm gonna spend $150. Spend $200 to go to Gainesville. SEC football, probably at primetime game nights. You got to sell that over me traveling there. That's the only problem. Like, I'm skipping a FAMU game, which Jackson ain't the easiest place to get to from Orlando because I don't think we have a direct flight. We might, but even still, and that flight alone, bless that. I'm spending less money to go for a 2.5 hour ride. Like, that's some of the issue we have with that. Like, what was the last time we played north of Atlanta? Ooh, I don't know off the top of my head. I want to say it was either the game in Cincinnati or Chicago. It might have been Circle City Classic. It was one of those three. Outside of being in the MEAC, like when we were in the MEAC, that's probably the answer. When we played one of the schools in Virginia or North Carolina, that's probably the last time. So, and little baby, I'm not going to Mississippi. I ain't gonna lie to you. Best catfish you will ever have are in Mississippi. Like, just saying. And a great example, Miami OVC. I've been the last 2 years. Attendance, 3 years. Sorry. Attendance the first year was fire. Last year's attendance, and you talk about 25,000, maybe 30. Like, she paid, and she had like a nice corporate sponsor with Denny's too, though. Like, Sister Girl has some sponsors, but yeah, y'all, you got to kind of look at some of that. Like, $200, you need a fire stick, bruh. We didn't have the conversation, man. Yeah. And look, I do prefer those. How much is the Mickey Rat playing us each year? Not enough. And I don't disagree with you on that. But at the same point, Mickey ain't paying us nothing for the Classic. He don't sponsor us. I mean, let's be real with it. Mickey don't give two F's about us at the Classic anymore. It ain't the Walt Disney Florida Classic anymore. It's the Florida Blue Classic. So really, he ain't doing nothing but showing up at halftime and, cutting a few checks. That's it. Honestly, Mickey ain't giving you diddly. Like, if we call it a spade, Orlando Health might be giving you some, but Florida Blue is the one really cutting the check when it comes to that. Like, so yeah, I mean, Mickey's not involved in this anymore. He's out. He's giving you nothing. Florida Blue is the one cutting the check. Just being honest, like, yeah, Mickey Mouse don't rock with FAMU like that. I mean, they do as far as the ESPN network stuff, but how much of that is FAMU and versus the SWAC? Like, and then how much is that them just kind of being like, yo, this is the best team. This is where the most eyes are. Like, they're not oblivious to the fact that we probably have higher ratings. And I would need to pull that up. FAMU has pretty good ratings for most football games, though, especially now that they are actively showing the halftime shows. Like, y'all do realize ESPN Plus, they have a separate thing just for halftime. Like, oh, you got the game, and then you there. And look, OVC wouldn't be bad if it wasn't in September. It's too hot. It's hot. Part of it is the game time, though, Demetri. Like, man, when you leave the stadium, it feels better. Like, I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. Like, and I know, we spinning here, but we late. OBC shouldn't start till 6 o'clock. I'm sorry. It's too freaking hot. Like, that first OBC when it rained, that was a godsend. That second OBC, when we were on the sun side and literally the band left early because they were passing out. And I remember asking Kofi, I'm like, what's wrong with the band? Why they leaving? He's like, bro, it's hot. Like, those kids are suffering. Like, it's just too hot for them to do anything. That game's too early. That game shouldn't start till 5 or 6 at the earliest. So that way everybody can come. You can really have the day party out there. Like, set up some tents and do stuff because they already have parties all over the stadium, in the stadium. If it's a later game, I think it looks better on TV, and I think it feels better. And I feel like as a fan, it's better for me to watch. I'm just saying. Like, look, PWIs don't move their home games for anything less than 20 million. There's no reason for us to move a home game for anything less than 350K. I don't know about that. So I will say that. Go back and look at what FSU made here in Orlando. There was a ticket allotment that they had to meet. So one of the things we quick to say what the white folks do and don't do, but we don't normally have a ticket allotment tied to our classics like they do. If and y'all know, look, I could pull it up real quick, but shoot, they had a ticket, like it was a real thing. Like, they had to meet that amount or they would not have got some money for like that LSU game last year. Like, they were serious about making sure you sold your ticket allotment. Otherwise, there would be some penalties. So we kind of say that, but we definitely have to make sure that we're looking at some of that. So, and I'll give y'all again, I stand on data. This is from last year. Saturday Down South. They're very reliable. This is where they showed it. FSU sold 30,000 tickets for that game in the same place we played the Florida Classic. Florida Classic, we routinely right now get about 45 to 50,000. Normally, the upper bowl is empty unless you're looking at the FAMU side. That game was a solid sellout, and most of those tickets were selling for over $100. So if we're going to play that game, you got to be honest about the end of it too, though. We can't be just saying what they got and what they didn't get without looking at the minutia and saying, okay, they didn't get this, but they didn't have that ticket allotment selling. What if, and I'll say this right now, what if FAMU was required to sell 30,000 seats for the OBC? What would have happened? We might have close to made it, but would you have made it? I'm just saying, like, it's bigger than just the what they got. It's how they got to where they got. When was the last time FAMU had 30,000 on its side? That's pre-COVID. I can tell you now, the Classic ain't had more than 60K in maybe a decade. So that's a tough ask. Like, and look, I get, but I get everybody's not coming to Tallahassee. I don't disagree with you on that. But at the same point, my only question with that is, and again, my only bounce back is, will they pay for it? And not us. Will Chicago pay for it? Because I can pull it up, and that CHACA G-O. Let me see if I can find a picture of it. Last time, that was not pretty. Like, I'm just saying, it got to be more than that. And I don't have any pictures handy. Um, yeah, and it's been a while. But if somebody's gonna pay for it, Mike, I'm with you. I'm not arguing that we shouldn't do it if it makes money. But and look, FSU and LSU received 5.1 each to sell about 15,000 tickets. Nobody receiving 20 million to play a game anywhere. Yeah. Even the closest thing to that might be the Florida Georgia game. And that's because really, yeah, Jacksonville's trying to keep that. They really are trying to do that. And look, they're not getting that. So yeah, let's stand on data. And sorry for taking y'all so long, but um, and it means a big boost in the beginning of 2020. Each team will get 1 million according to the memo of understanding. It remains 1 million in 2021 to increase to 1.25 billion in 2022 and 2023. They have been getting 250,000 each. That was in 2021. I know they've renegotiated the contract. The teams split the gate, which comes around 3.3 million per year. So yeah, let's make sure we stand on data. So this is Florida, Georgia, which is sold out every year. And if you've not seen how much those tickets are, that game is on my bucket list and shall remain there because, yeah. So even the white boys ain't making no 20 million. And, we just saw why. And to be full honesty, full transparency, UGA is trying to pull out of that. Like, UGA's been trying to pull out of that game for about 5-6 years. They don't want it in Jacksonville anymore because they've literally said we're losing money. Our stadium seats more than that. Like, you got to make it worth our while. So, yeah, they ain't getting no 20 mil for that. And look, FSU made more money playing Orlando one day than we have there in half a decade. So we have nothing to lose but approaching. Oh yeah, I agree. I feel like you should be approaching them, but you also, again, you got to be careful with, is there going to be a ticket allotment? Because I can tell you now, if you're requiring FAMU to buy 20,000 tickets in Chicago, that shit ain't happening. Like, we can play the game, but let's be real. You know that's not going to happen because that means we got to sell 20. They got to sell 20. They got to get 40. You know that's not happening. You might get 20, 25 of that game total, but if you're requiring FAMU to sell 25,000 seats, which is more seats than Bragg holds in an NFL facility that's not in Atlanta, maybe New Orleans or some other major southern city, you asking a lot. And then you're asking for the city to come up and support you in a way we haven't seen Chicago do. I'm not saying to not ask for the money. I'm just saying with that kind of deal, I'm asking about the contract. Are you requiring us to have a ticket allotment that exceeds something we can actually do? And a group tried to get FAMU to come, but AD said no, they want more games than Bragg, but Duval was going to pay good money. With that, only problem was their timing sucked. They're like, oh, we're trying to do it the next 2 years. And it's like, y'all do realize the stadium's going to be closed. So it would have to be in 3 years or this year. This is the last year you can play a game in Jacksonville for the next 2 years because the Jaguars are talking about coming to Orlando. So yeah, I was on the show at ONG with them. Great idea. But yeah. Just what's up, Edwin? But that's my only question with Jacksonville. The problem with Jacksonville for the next 2 years, the stadium is going to be unusable. So where are you going to play it? There's nowhere to play that game. Like the stadium, right? You got to wait until like 2028. And I think that would be a great event and opportunity if you could get it there. Because I'm fine with 4 home games in Bragg. I really am. Don't get me wrong. If somebody's going to pay to take one of those games out of Bragg and it's in driving distance, I love it. But at the same point, let's call a spade a spade. Next year, OBC should have been shocked. Like, we all know South Carolina State's on the schedule. I'm just saying, why can't we talk to them? They talk to her, and we work something out, and we be like, yo, this is what we were getting paid with Jackson State. She needs a team for next year. Let's work that out. I think that's the play for next year. If you want to get that extra revenue game, you make it something where it's mutually beneficial for next year. Now, for Jacksonville, I think going forward, that's something you can talk about. And I think the city would be willing to pay for it because honestly, outside of the Jaguars, Florida Georgia game is the only game you're getting. But how much is Cookman getting to play there? Which is not a bad ride. But at the same point, I think Jacksonville would be a good play going forward. So, good question. Like, oh, and when you finish, that thing will be fire. It will be. It will be. Like I said, I think the biggest problem was just their timeline. They're like, oh yeah, we're trying to do it for like this year. It's like, y'all think she's gonna flip a football game in a year? Like, that's tough. Like, oh yeah, yeah. And he said Jacksonville's become a destination city for blacks. Even one of family reunions is there in the summer. Oh yeah, yeah. Look, special affinity for Jacksonville, man. Oh yeah, I ain't gonna say too much, but definitely a special place in my heart for Jacksonville. I just think it's going to be something where if you're gonna do that, you're gonna have to have 4 home games, but then you got to find a way to make sure that within those contracts, one, not only are they giving you more than you're getting from home game, because that's short sighted. Because they give you $1 more than you got for a regular home game, that just doesn't mean it's a win. Because you got to now transport all your stuff there. So that's why I say you really want something that at least doubles what you get, because some of that's going to just go to moving the football team. And then they got to pay for the band, because let's be real. If the band ain't coming, a lot of you ain't coming. Like, it can be, if it's 100 by themselves, you'll be there. But if it's 100 in another band, y'all are definitely showing up. But if we just saying, oh, fam, you're just gonna have a game in Jacksonville, you just cutting the check, that's not gonna last long. Because the person that is marketing the game not gonna get their money back. Like, and again, middle fingers to them, you don't care. Because once the money clears your coffers, it's clean. But at the same point, if you're gonna keep that relationship, it's got to be something where you or whoever owns the classic makes that money back. And the city, if they cut you a check, they got to be able to realize what they paid. So I don't know. I'm just saying. Of course, it'll happen. Our booty rattlers all over go to a major city. You're faithful, bro. I can't see that. I ain't seen that. I ain't gonna lie. The last time, other than Atlanta, I think Tampa, we had a really good showing. And that was even when the weather was trash. Nobody from TSU showed up. I know you was there. I was there. The first OVC was solid. The last one was okay. Like, that might have been 30 total. Birmingham was solid when we played Southern. But again, that's FAMU Southern. Like, the Atlanta Classic was the Atlanta Classic, but at the end of the day, by the end, the Atlanta Classic was drawing 40s. Like, so are we really getting 25K in the stands in a city that's not major Southern wise? Like, it may be a major city, but okay, you got fake, bro. The fake the size of a mustard seed. Jacksonville putting 600 for renovation. Exactly, I agree. I think that would be something that it could work, but I just don't want something where FAMU is obligated to sell like pretty much something that you would have to sell out of brag, like ticket wise. That would be tough. Are we really sports fans? And can you sustain building your program with that mindset? I don't think any of us are sports fans. I mean, I'm a sports fan, but none of us are. Like as a country, I think we like the sport, but we're talking about going to the game, sitting there for 3 hours in the sun. That's none of us. Not in today's day and time. Not like when I was a kid where, you know, that was kind of the end of that. Oh yeah, you go to the game, you go to the game, you just kind of go out of allegiance. You don't have that. My daughter's not going to the game because she likes it. She goes to the game 'cause she wants to eat. Like, just being honest. I'm trying to find my way to the baseball game. FAMU at the Trop. We got a golf tournament that day. I might go still. But at the same point, I had to sell the wife on, yo, the game's indoors. You're not going to sweat. Oh, okay. I was good then. Because the second I said, oh, it's Tampa Bay Rays baseball in Tampa, she's like, what's the weather going to be like? Like, so none of us, I think, are as sports fans are as ravenous as we really think we are. I think because of the advent of television and conveniency and the fact that I'm drinking Woodford and sweet tea from the comfort of my in-house studio, versus I'm drinking Woodford and tea at a baseball stadium, and then after this game, I got to drive 2 hours back to wherever I'm going. I think that's a problem, and we're seeing that it's not a black thing. Again, nationally, people are not going to as many football games. Attendance numbers have dwindled. So now you got to compete, man. Like, and too many of y'all still live in the crush groove era and basing 2024 projections on 1990s data. We have 3 decades of graduates across alumni since we played anywhere substantial. I'm not disagree. I disagree with you. I'm gonna stop. I disagree that we're gonna get 25,000 guaranteed people from FAMU buying tickets to Chicago. I don't think it's gonna happen. Um, and I base that on data. I will pull information outside of the Celebration Bowl. I haven't seen it. The OBC didn't do that. It didn't. What other game do we have? Outside of a special playoff type game and the classic. What other game can you guarantee me 25,000 seats? Outside of a regional classic in Florida and a postseason game, that's a tough sell. Look, I want to be wrong, but so this is why PWI's Powerful Fours try to cut bait on that mindset. They know below freezing temps, hot sun, rain. Yeah, they're not coming. They're not. If your team's not good, they're not coming. Like let's not play the white folk game. They're not coming. Look at the attendance across the street. They took 20, not two, 20,000 seats out of the stadium because unless it was UF or it wasn't a sellout. Look at UF's attendance over the past however long. It kind of creeped back up, but it steadily was declining. Like, I'm just saying. This just saying. And FCS schools, especially HBCUs have the best attendance in all of SCS. It's crazy. Like, you start looking at percentages as a whole, outside of your North Dakota States, South Dakota States, HBCUs are normally up there attendance wise. Jackson State's always going to lead, and they're leading with a half full stadium most times. So, just saying, I'm hopeful. Look, if you can get that 25K, Mike, I'm here for it. But I do want us to shop our games for a classic. I love the idea, as long as it makes business sense. And like I said, outside of the Tampa Classic, Florida Classic, last OBC, and a Celebration Bowl. I haven't seen in the recent time of us doing huge traveling, especially outside of the South. Like, last one that wasn't one of those cities that I know we traveled to, Birmingham. I was there. That game against Southern was packed. That's been almost 20 years ago. So it could happen. I heard the Circle City Classic had good attendance. I think that would work as well, just because it's got a history, but Chicago Classics never really drawn well, respectfully. All right, y'all. We've been here too long, and I'm pretty sure that little lady gonna come up here looking at me like, y'all still doing the show? Absolutely. All right. So look, I'm gonna catch y'all Thursday. Look, we're gonna look at what the happenings about FAMU. Hopefully you get some news about some administrators pretty soon. And we're gonna see, man. It's gonna be some interesting times. We're also gonna try to get FAMU, talk about some of the NAA stuff, booster stuff. Try and get that going, man. So, it's gonna be interesting to see. So yes, and I did mention about the hurricane with that. So again, that definitely killed that attendance a little bit because I was definitely there, and they beat us. So we owe them a whooping too. All right, y'all. For her to the Black Techie Zone, getting out of here. Catch y'all Thursday night, and it's always gonna be Fangs up.
Yeah, baby, you know what time it is. Now let's get it started. Are you kidding me? Unreal!
While our HBCUs are mostly known for academic rigor, community, they also know how to turn up.
Dorsey, how